start streaming in a moment. Uh, let's see if the tube is getting it. The tube's getting it, I think. I'll put that in here. Um, are both because the combos are good in both places. Yeah, if you really want to learn to code Max, go for it. Learn to code. We're learning to code. We have this template farm app that we've been working on. What is the template farm app? I will give a quick npm run dev. Uh, Today, learn to code. It's Thursday. Sometimes when we work on these group projects, Thursday is deployment day, right? So this class today, it's going to take a second for that to compile. The real goal, right? We're kind of shifting from builders, right, coders to evaluators, auditors of the code, right? Um, and to do that is hard, right? It's this like a different hat that we have to wear. We have to detach from the thing that we've just built. So you may be experiencing this with your personal projects. I know I'm experiencing it with this project. There's a lot of things that I don't necessarily like about it. Um, uh, so what this app is, right? From my perspective right now, is it's an AI generated, or it's you put in your idea and then it gives you an AI generated scaffold, or a community shared scaffolding. There's a community template library. There's like an identity pseudo anonymous social layer to it for the sharing of the templates. And there is some sort of infrastructure that's associated with maybe searching and indexing through these templates to help people build and scaffold the beginning of their projects. Um, so we have been watching this together, and if you haven't been watching this together with us, and this is your first Learn to Code class, take a look at the GitHub and just a quick look, quick audit, because that's what we're learning how to do today. Um, Take a look at the GitHub, and let's take a moment to answer from your perspectives. What is the template farm? What are we building actually? And there's no wrong answers here. I actually am curious as to what we think we're building. What is the template farm? Feel free to mic up. Feel free to post in the box. All right. What is it? No answers, no vibes. Um, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I was giving it a lot of thought, and it would be like amazing if it could give you like maybe by task, organized by task, what you have to do, like a Goblin tool.
What was that Gollum tool?
Goblin tool. I
Goblin
sorry.
tools.
Um, yeah, kind of like uh, that. You say, okay, I want to make an app, and then like it uh, breaks down by smaller chunks, but a farm template would give you the step by step with like what we're talking about, Stack Overflow, with like all the technical things that you have to do, like the recipe.
Cool. Goblin tools. This is great. I know I've looked at this before. I know I've heard about Goblin tools before. Um, yes. All right. So, uh, thank you for sharing that. Helps you guide you through what to do. Magic to do breaks down steps, especially. All right. So, magic to do. Let's use. Anybody have an app idea? Uh, I'm just gonna put the dog walking app. So we'll ask dog walking app. Um, compiling. Something went wrong searching the fields. All right, so I need to activate the farmhand spirit, which is weird. So the API key failed. All right, so that doesn't even work. Break down things so you don't. Is Goblin Tools connected to AI? Do we know? Um,
I'm not sure.
or is it just like a way to like make a to-do list? Yes, it is. Make a dog walking app. Uh, breakdown item. Okay. Wow. Yes. All right. So we built Goblin tools. And ours is broken. It doesn't have as cool of a name. uh, uh, that's what we learn, right? When we evaluate what we build, we learn, right? So what is this actually? The template farm. First of all, something went wrong asking the farmhand. The AI is broken. When I tested it, something went wrong asking the farmhand. Uh, so what is our template farm? It's a dev tool. It's a starter template generator. It's like Chat GPT for projects, Claude for projects, like GitHub templates, but uh, AI, like Goblin tools, but worse, right? Um, sorry. Uh, uh, so we're gonna go back to this sort of uh, tool. Let's make that bigger. Is it a tool? Is
Job
it a
is done.
product? Is it a toy? Um, right. So, tool, product, toy. This fun game, right? If it's a tool, it's got to be reliable and it's got to be fast. It's got to be like efficient, you know? Um, uh, if it's a product, it has to retain users, right? Like right now as a product, template farm wouldn't be successful because we're pushing for like mass market developers. Goblin tools, what was Goblin tools? Let's look at Goblin tools. Goblin tools is, let's look at there's somewhere that had pricing on it. um it's cheap. It's $3 a month. And then they have a Ko-fi and Patreon support, right? So at $3 a month, this is a tool that does something better than us and is just asking for donations to run. So I would say we're already losing out on the product pitch for ourselves, right? Um, and if it's a toy, then the novelty is enough. But I don't know, like with the template farm, and we built this together. So if you are somebody who's like very like connected to the idea of template farm, I'm sorry that I'm just like completely shitting on it right now. Like, but if this is a toy, is it fun enough? Do we have like a little? Are we getting enough from just the nest.ces? I don't think so. I don't see any cows or chickens or little farmers. It's not fun enough. It's not novelty enough. I know novelty. I've developed games. Love having fun. This is not it, right? So, sorry. It's fun to make. The process is fun. All right, cool. We got somebody who's at least looking at the cup half full in the chat. It was fun to make. It was fun to make, right? Um, but your users doesn't know that, you know? Uh, and even as artists, it would need to be uh it would need to be accompanied with the artist's statement of, hey, look, I know this art isn't fun to look at, but it was really fun to make. That doesn't sell anything, right? Not from like a product standpoint, from a toy standpoint, right? uh from completely recreational novelty standpoint, right? So right now um it's fulfilling maybe a little bit of toy, and the other two can completely go out the window, right? So there's things that we could do to bring it up to the other two. uh Taking a page from the book of goblin tools, that was a great suggestion. um so kind of the reframing is, if we wanted it to be a tool, is first of all, it would need to work. So let's check if can you show the actual error from npm verify. AI is broken when I tested it. All right, so it wants me to check for the specific error in this, which I'll do, but dog walking app. um walking app, we're going to test it, the farmhand again. Activate the farmhand spirit, ask the farmhand. Something went wrong asking the farmhand. All right, we're going to look in our inspector, control shift I. Failed to load, unable to add system, illegal path, and then we can check the actual terminal console where it's running, and just grab some of this error code as well. Let's see why it would be broken. So we're going to talk about this theory called dog fooding, or eating your own dog food.
Job is done.
I don't know. I guess I should do my due diligence and look up where this came from. Dog fooding origin. Um, Originated from the 1970s commercial for dog food, where actor touted that he fed it to his own dog, signaling confidence in the product. Oh, that's not what I thought. I thought it I thought it was like you eat your dog's food because it's good enough. I don't know. We're gonna dog food this though. Is anyone familiar with the term dog fooding? Eat it. Uh, no, no, no. We're not. We don't know what dog fooding is. Okay, okay. Uh, so dog fooding, aka eating your own dog food. Um, that's what I call it. So what does that mean? Let's get a picture of a Chihuahua eating. Uh, oh, that's just adorable. Um, oh, with the watermark. All right, eating your own dog food. Oh wow, look at those dog food. That's just a plate of treats. Why does the dog have a little how yeah, anyways. So dog fooding, aka eating your own dog food, right? Uh, in systems design or product design, right? It's trusting your own system, right? Would you use Template Farm to make your own templates for projects, scaffolding for your own projects? This is another way to sort of evaluate what we're building, right? So we see right here that we have this dog right here, and he's looking at the dog food like, whoa. Uh, Basically, that comes down to in when you're designing systems, would you trust your own system? Right now with Template Farm, no, I wouldn't, because it's not even, when I ask the farmhand spirit or whatever, it's not even giving me. It's just saying something went wrong, right? We could test it again. We asked Claude to do a little fix. So uh all right. So it was something to do with the API key, the Anthropic API key not being stored in the right file. EMV local are set up, but server not restarted. The search query was broken. It didn't exist yet. Oh, we might have not ran the wave of agents that were supposed to build the AI. That was wave 2 or wave 3. I can't really remember. This is where we start getting into this place of like the project is becoming kind of outside of our control. We're losing context of the project. Claude's losing context of the project. As you keep, I've been resuming the same window, the same context window with Claude. As we keep adding to that, it hits kind of a point of diminishing returns, right? We're getting kind of junk back from Claude. So that's why it's important to have Claude and OpenSpec build these sort of specs for your project so that it has memory of where it's working. I think we had a docs file, or maybe not. Agents Claude. This is not the next JS you know. Uh, huh. Yeah. Maybe it like deleted its own docs file. I don't know why I do that. Oh, it has docs up here. Roadmap. Um, we have the spec for the project. So we could open a new context window, get a fresh Claude that's going to lose context of like exactly where we are in the project right now, but it can read the roadmap files, it could read the agent files, it could look through the existing project and then gain a like fresh set of eyes with some context on what we're doing. Anyways, so we fired this up again, and maybe the farmhand works. A dog food uh inventory application. Activate the farmhand spirit. Sprouting. Something went wrong again. Um, oh, we need to migrate. Can you run all the migrations, please? All right, so there's something now that's an issue with the database, right? So Claude's struggling. Here's a good point, uh kind of a little bit of a tangent to make. Uh when you open up a Claude
Job
project
is
that
done.
you've recently worked on from the terminal, uh you can say, so when I control C again to exit this and then clear. The way that I would get back into this Claude is with the flag resume and back into this context window with the flag resume, and then we're going to throw on dangerously skip permissions again so that it's not asking us about every single folder that it needs to get into. And so when you get back into the file, it will pull up the line that you were last on. Can you run all the migrations, please? It's resuming the conversation from where we left off. When I did that this morning to check up on the project, Claude was like, "We need to compact this project, or you're gonna like burn through a bunch of tokens." Right? I feel like the compacted project has been giving us issues. Um, so just something to think about when you're relying on AI to build these things. So migrations applied. I need to restart dev though. So we'll close that. Just like never trust a skinny chef. I think that's in response to dog fooding. Never trust a skinny chef because they don't eat their own food. Yeah, I feel the same way about like people that give tattoos that have no tattoos. It's like the like straight edge tattoo people that are tattoo artists. It's like you what? Like throw some of your art on your body or get a friend to do it, you know? I don't feel the same way about sober bartenders, though. Uh, Sober bartenders are probably, from personal experience, yeah, they dog fooded, they dog fooded at some point, and it's like it makes for a way better host to a situation where people are imbibing. Anyways, Uh, so we talked about dog fooding. We're doing the template farm, a dog food inventory app. That's what we want to build. Um, it went wrong again. We'll copy this error code. We'll throw it in here. Um, I don't know if we're gonna get to the bottom of that, but the question that we should ask ourselves when we're building the systems, when we're keeping in mind our little dog food pal, would you trust your own system, right? In the case of the template farm, would you use this instead of Google or GitHub? So I want you to think about your personal projects now. Are there competitors to your personal projects? Are there inspirational apps, maybe applications that you're building in the same vein of, are using as sort of a problem statement? You know, you see a lot of times like, this is the Duolingo of cleaning your house or whatever. Um,
Job is done.
think about those applications and think about whatever you're building. Would you use what you're building instead of those apps? Uh, and I'll open the question to the people participating in the class right now. Um, if you're working on a personal project, let us know what the sort of inspiration apps or existing apps that would be competitors to your app are. And then if you feel like what you're building you would use instead of those applications. Or if you aren't working on a personal project, would you use Template Farm instead of Google or GitHub? Which uh thanks to vibe coding, I would also vibe code premium features of apps and use them. Somebody asked, when is it better to restart from scratch? Um, do you mean that like in the sense of like just like bagging the entire project and starting from like a blank template, or do you mean that from starting with a new Claude context window?
We've been a week working on this, and let's say, we finalize into what we want, and what we've been talking with Claude has not been working. And now we have like a clear picture of what we want. When would it be better to just say, okay, let's restart this template project from scratch with a better idea of what we want instead of all the old ideas and all the, going back and forth.
Yeah, I mean that's like that's kind of the question that you would need to analyze for yourself or with your team, right? Like that's something that we could discuss here. Um is there's a lot of different parameters that go into making the decision of whether it's better to just like go scorched earth and nuke the project and then start a different project, right? Honestly, what we have here is very bare bones and like enough for Claude or like a team of people to pivot in any direction.
I
Um,
kind of meant the same project, like
just
template
like
farm,
yeah,
like restarting template farm. Yeah.
yeah. This I think is like it's like not enough of a project to like I think it's still safe to continue working on template farm as template farm because there's not much code here. Like it's not this like deep sort of monolithic code base just yet. It's still a little in the Claude API shell landscape, right? Um,
So it'd be when it's more code heavy and there's more refactoring to make, then it'd
yeah.
be better to use scratch it. Okay.
When it's way more code heavy for sure, when you're starting to have like overlapping documentation that doesn't agree with itself, or with the context window in mind and with vibe coding and using AI, uh my thing is if Claude fails at something 3 times in a row, like that's when I start getting sort of like should I stay in this context window? Has that lost complete sight of what the project is? And what we've just seen is Claude failing 3 times in a row to fix this AI thing, right? So I mean that's as good of a question as any to bring up. I'm going to have faith in Claude once more. Maybe this is ill advised. Um, but for the sake of this class, I think if we were starting from square one with this project, that the amount of time that it would take to build all the specifications and get up and running to the point that we have it now would take us into the next hour, potentially longer than that, right? So definitely feeling the sort of like sunk cost moment with this right now, but for the sake of actually getting through class, let's have faith in it. I don't know. A dog food inventory app, please. Oops, I didn't activate the farmhand. Something went wrong. All right, cool. It's the API key's missing now. All right. Pass it. Where is the it's not even pulling up the env anymore. Env local, open to the side. All right. All right. Oh, it doesn't even have Anthropic API key in it. All right, so I got to put that in. I'm putting it in off screen because uh can't there's like a bunch of private stuff within the environment variable. Um within the .env.local. So we wouldn't use this instead of Google or GitHub. Uh, in class, switching to YouTube to walk my dog. Good to see y'all. Bye. in the YouTube dog fooding using your own products. All right, good. One person knew what that was. All right, real answers to whether or not I'm going to use Template Farm instead of Google or GitHub is going to be a no for me. Um, so yeah, that's just what it comes down to. Let's grab a new API key though. Template Farm. All right, create key. That and put that in there. And maybe will it will it uh will it work without running the dev again, or does the npm? I bet the environment variables get called on npm run dev, so we'll need to run that again. And if this doesn't work, uh, we'll just keep moving forward with this project. Stop. A dog food inventorying app. Activate the farmhand. I don't really like that. It's taking longer to sprout this time around. Ooh, it's compiling something. It's rendering something. Oh, it's loading a harvest. Hey, that's something. Hidden Sprig Farm. Make their dog food inventory. Blah blah blah. We're building a Python program where it's a Flask program, and then it gives you a rationale. You can like it, you can fork it, snippets, references, comments. I don't like this dog food application. Let's see. I doubt this works because I don't think we got to the wave where it was handling um, user input. Maybe we did. We didn't, but that's okay because anyways, love the rationale. We love the rationale. Yeah. Oh my god. What a nightmare app. Um, but it works. Sort of. There's a lot of stuff missing. We didn't finish the waves yesterday. The waves were burning through Claude token usage. So maybe we'll need to get Claude. Um, hey, can you run an audit on where we're at with the waves in roadmap.md and continue from wherever we left off based on your knowledge of the project? Thank you. Um, so now Claude's doing their thing, and we're back to thinking about what we're doing. So, dog fooding, eating your own dog food. We've talked about it. We know we got this little dog on screen. Um, are we gonna eat this dog food? I don't know. I don't know if I would eat the dog food. So when we evaluate kind of whether or not we use our own app, that's huge, right? Uh, a developer who's starting a an application will probably Google their thing first. They'll look at GitHub repos. They might start with vibe coding. They might start by asking ChatGPT or Claude something. They're going to use known scaffolds, right? Template Farm's not beating any of those right now. So, a good question that was asked. I think Gabby brought it up. At what point do you abandon it? At what point do you bail? Um, Is it if the commands don't work? Is it if the setup breaks? Is it if it gives weird stacks? I mean, we haven't even tested this with something that's not a template, right? Um, so what what do we feel as a class? Like, at what point would you abandon a project, an application build?
Job is done.
At what point would you abandon a project build? When it gets boring. Oof, oof. Yes, I know that feeling. When it gets boring. Um, it's yeah. When it gets boring is a legitimate answer to that. Um, if you don't want to work on your project and you don't work on your it's like you're gonna abandon the project. When it gets boring. But you know what can be boring and frustrating is when you're hitting the same uh errors over and over. So you need to find a project prompt that excites you enough to carry you over those moments. Because, like, right now, I've said some pretty disparaging stuff about Template Farm. If we're looking at my morale as it pertains to Template Farm, my emotional regulation as it pertains to this project, I would if this was a personal project probably have abandoned it by now. Um uh the fact that we're all working on this as a team together creates that group based accountability. That's another thing to think about in dog fooding, in setting up projects that have more of a life force to them, is working on something with friends, having other people hold you uh to your project, right?
Job is done.
uh can be huge, right? So 18 test pass, blah blah blah, proceed with eating with the audit. Yes, proceed with the audit, but also let's keep building this thing and find what wave we stopped on, and proceed the building of the actual program. So I think also when looking at Template Farm, would you run the commands for the scaffolding um just like would we take the advice from Template Farm, right? So let's pull back open. Let's see if we can get to our dog food app even. Oh, I don't even remember what my name was. What is a another project idea? Anyone want to throw a project into the Template Farm? It was cute cherry blossom. But how do we even get there? Is it like we don't even know how to get to our farm? Um, there's no like a rock paper scissors game, a rock paper scissors game. Activate the farmhand spirit. Scissors game. We'll ask the farmhand. All right. So now we can get um now I can get kind of meta with it. New window. Uh, open folder. All my shit. Call this rock, paper, scissors. Select that folder. Alright, rock, paper, scissors game. We'll close that. New terminal. Alright, we're in rock, paper, scissors. The scaffolding says to make dir rock, paper, scissors, cd rock, paper, scissors. Those are commands that just get you into the file, right? We're comfortable with that. And then it says touch index.html, index.html, style.css, script.js. Can anyone, before I even run this command, tell me if it's going to work or not, right? What it's going to do, if it's going to work or not. It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because I am on Windows. I'm on a Windows machine using VS Code. I'm in PowerShell. That's not going to work. So what do I need to do? I need to go into my Linux terminal, WSL, and I need to run the same command again. We'll copy and paste that. All right. So we got index.html, we got script.js. It doesn't give us anything. It doesn't give us anything in the script either, or style. So it basically just set up boilerplate website, right? It didn't give us anything. Of course.
Job is done.
I mean, like, so then I would be looking at this like, wow, that was a bummer. So we'd have to let's see if we can just get give me simple index.html and script.js and style.css for a rock paper scissors game. We'll have that. We'll use the GPT that must not be named to do that in a separate window. And so it gave us the HTML, and we can view that word wrap mode. So buttons, rock, paper, and scissors, computer, result, make a move. All right, so we're setting up the view here. The script.js is what's important. I mean, that's where the real code, the controller for this game would live. Reviewing that word wrap mode. So it's doing all of these like random number generation, get winner. All right, so it has like a computer that's randomly picking. That that's fine. And then style.css, some styling for that. So we'll save, and we'll save that. And then pull open our index file. Or wait, we can just open this reveal in File Explorer and our rock paper scissors game. So let's do rock. It's a draw. Cool. Scissors. It's a draw. Paper. It's a draw. Rock. It's a draw. Scissors. Paper. It's a draw. Ooh. All right. Wait. Did I just choose the same thing that the computer did like 9 times in a row? Because it seems to just have like knocked out. Anyways, for a second I thought there was a bug where the computer just chose the same thing as me every time. No one else saw that. No one else saw that. What are the chances? What are the chances of choosing the same thing in rock, paper, scissors 9 times in a row. Uh, Somebody calculate that. I don't know. That's a factorial problem that should be pretty simple. It's so crazy. Uh, the first time I tried something like this, there's a weight in the code that made it choose rock 70% of the time. All right. Well, let's audit this. Um, yeah, it's just math random. It's just math random. Anyways, this is boring and it works, but what kind of dismays me is that the application itself only has us build the scaffolding for this, which is an index file, script.js, and a style.css file, which you could have done that on your own. You could have just run this command and had that completely set up for you. You know, that's not the template farm isn't doing anything. So then where this becomes an application that I actually would like to use is if I added this rock paper scissors let's call this RPS script RPS script.js and then add the code here and then we add the snippet. It can't post the snippet because the user system doesn't work. Oh no. But then you could take this template and actually add the code that works to it. It'd be kind of like a repo. Why wouldn't you just share the repo that you put as a link? I don't know. I don't. It's a confused now. It's a confused system. Um. So this gives us sort of a critique of the architecture, right? Um, we don't know where this lives either. We have this link up here, which is not memorable or human readable. Hidden Sprig Farm, I'm assuming is me, but the user page doesn't link back to anything. Or I guess it does. It's looking me up as a farmer. Um, oh, wow. Okay. Um, we're finding out things together. Okay. This is a little bit more fun because now it has the dog food inventory app in there too, and I can open that. Hmm. So the pseudonymity is working to some degree, but we do have issues, it's saying. Okay. I can't post snippets yet. I can't post references yet. Okay. So now we kind of need to bring it to this place of like engineering judgment, right? Um, is this underbuilt? Is it overbuilt? Um, does it work? Does it have core values? I'm sorry, I really I really need to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna be back in like 2 minutes. But feel free to mic up and discuss in the class like this question. Like is is this program naive? Is this application underbuilt? Or do you think it has the necessary stuffs to make an application that would be used? All right. I washed my hands. Don't worry. I just really needed to go to the bathroom. I drank too much coffee. um, sorry, TMI. All right. So in the chat, we have what do you think would give it a more interesting appeal? To me, a lot. It needs like more of a communal element to it. I want the farmer. I want the farm. I want to take it back. You know, right now this is a lot of text. It's cool. It's giving me like Pokemon Red, Blue, Harvest Moon vibes, but it's not enough yet. It's just like the UI. Like, are people talking about, oh, I love like the way that like text is chunked out and the way the UI of Pokemon Red looks? Like, no, not really, you know? Um uh the back end is not fully built out yet either. We don't have this like user handling. If I go and try to post a snippet, it's going to give me an error. So there's a lot that could still, you know, it leaves a lot to the desire. Now that I know about Goblin tools, I will check that out, but I do need something like this, says somebody. I think it's underbuilt and very possibly unfocused in any useful way. Currently, the features are kind of all over the place and none of them really work as intended. Ooh, yeah. Let's do it. Like now we're at roast template farm. Light it up, you know? Considering someone is paying for Claude API use, maybe we can make it more versatile by allowing use of the user's own plan so someone doesn't have to bear the cost of others. Wow. All right. That's a cool idea. I like that. Um, so somebody said, so you feel like the back end is built, but the front end needs to be a bit more interesting. Yes, already approached that. The output's not useful. Yes, in the case of rock, paper, scissors, that was not useful. Right now, it's not unique enough to solve a problem that 5 other large app solutions already do. So gamifying more with the actual farm would be helpful for that. Definitely not unique enough and doesn't do a good enough job. I could see this being so first of all, considering someone is paying for Claude API use, maybe we can make it more versatile by allowing use of the user's own plan. I could see that being an interesting angle, right? Like wire up your own Claude API and this becomes sort of like a wrapper app and could handle another person's API. That's interesting. I think also the Stardew Valley theming, the farm theming, the gamify, you know, the potential for gamification, this might be working its way into toy territory, but could also be used as an educational tool. So instead of having this audience of like developers, what if it was like uh kind of like baby's first baby's first vibe coding app, you know? And I know that's like I don't want to like infantilize the application that we just poured our brains and hearts into for the last couple of days. Um but there is a market for uh coding educational tools, right? That are targeted at elementary school, middle school, high school age students, right? And this could be a totally like a space that yeah, it's missing a farm. Being harsh, it has potential, but it doesn't really help with the issue. Not only gamifying for focusing, I think it needs more specifications on what to do. It can take inspiration from Goblin Tool and Stack Overflow, right? And then somebody says, sometimes it helps to just make something for the sake of learning. It doesn't ultimately have to be useful for others. Yeah, that's what we did. That's what we're doing. uh, and then somebody says F, but they use the bad word, the users. So you guys are getting you guys are getting chose chaos this morning. Cool. So Um, so that's kind of what my first impression of this was to somebody. My first vibe coding app. Today is my first class, so it looked to me like the intention is I have an idea. Is there a framework out there for me to start from? Yeah. So I feel like the pivot that I would take as a sole developer if I was working on this alone and not with this class is I would look at this, and if I had to keep working on this, like if somebody was holding a gun to my head and like, you have to build out template farm right now. You have to make sure this thing's deployed by the end of the day, and it has to reach at least 100 users in a month, right? That's like, now we're not dog fooding, we're like holding the dog food, our own dog food hostage, right? Um, so we have to finish this app. We have to deploy it by the end of the day. This is the constraint. We have to deploy it by the end of the day. And we have to maintain, we have to generate and retain 100 users by this time next month, by May 9th, 2026, right? What are we going to do with the app? If I were the sole dev on this and somebody were holding me at gunpoint, sorry. Did somebody mic up? I heard is,
Yeah, I did. So I was gonna make a comment on like how you could potentially attract more people and or make this more useful. And I think that is in helping people even come up with an idea of what to make and then guiding them on how to get there. So maybe walking you through and saying like, hey, like, are you trying to make a web app? Are you trying to make a Android app or an iOS app? Is it a game? Getting from A to Z essentially, and determining, okay, do you want to vibe code this, or do you want to code this yourself and you want hand holding, or do you want a challenge? Like, and then at the end, if you want to vibe code it, it can actually spit out like basically your template to give to whatever AI you want to have actually build it. So it's almost building a prompt for you.
I like that. Yeah, was that so yesterday I think you were the same person who brought up the idea of it having like sort of becoming like an idea generation tool, like almost like a Socratic, like applying the Socratic
Yes.
method to, all right, that I like that. And
Oh, I
yeah,
just had another idea. So like
share.
you could it could help you generate that idea basically, right? And you can imagine that idea being a seed, right? And then the app is basically shepherding you through the process and growing that seed into something that you can make a farm out of. And that is perhaps what the game spits your farm out as, if
Awesome.
that makes sense.
Yes, I like that idea. So um especially with the community feature being like a North Star for this, the farm being a North Star, the sort of Stardew Valley of it all. Um uh I think that, yeah, shepherding you through the the ideas generation process uh is a tool, and a good tool at that. I do think that we've sort of uh a constraint that we put on ourselves with the aesthetic. While adults love gamification, and and it's, and adults play with toys too, um that I do think that we're not going to pull an audience of seasoned developers or engineers or people who take themselves seriously, or people who would be willing to pay for something that looks like a game, right? So I do think that the pivot to educational tool toy educational tool toy, is that a phrase? An ET, if you will, is a good idea. Somebody in the chat says, let's apply Kiss and remove the unnecessary features. Kiss. keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Or keep it sassy, stupid. I don't know. Keep it simple, stupid. Um, uh, all right. So somebody says, then you kind of have Finch vibes that help you come up with the idea and execute on it, and you have motivation to finish the farm. This definitely would not appeal to SR to senior devs. Yes. Finch vibes though. Because people my age have finches, Uh who doesn't like a little bird reminding them to drink water, right? Pedro part 2. This is Pedro part 2 with the dev angle. And I do think that you could work mental emotional regulation and health into that process too. Um Kind of like you know when they're hitting a wall with the code, maybe the application is like, here are what other people in the same situation as you did at this point, or like, here's a bunch of farmers that got stuck at this point. Maybe y'all should like hit each other up and talk. I don't know. So all good ideas. Um, let's uh let's see if we can get the where did it go? Oh, I was in the stupid rock paper scissors app. All right. Well, we want to actually kind of pivot this into an educational tool toy. Um, Thinking that our users are probably not going to be senior devs using this farm template. They're probably going to be people that want to have a fun time with the application. So look at an application like Finch as a North Star for the vibe of this. It's like Finch meets Stardew Valley, right? We want to instead we just did a little audit where we built a rock paper scissors application using the template farm generator, and the template farm, the Claude API literally just gave us back the command touch index.html, script.js, styles.css. That's not helpful to anybody. So we need to pivot and build this app into almost a Socratic method for idea generation. So the application should prompt the user what their app idea is, and then shepherd them through those steps in the process with the sort of Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing gamification built into it. Is this something that we could build out right now? I don't know why I gave it that option at the end. That's not how you should end a Claude prompt. Is this something that we can build out right now? Like, no, Claude's gonna want to build it out. Um, uh, yeah. So that brainstorming process is going to be part of like shepherding you through. Like, this is your brain dump. Interested to see how we can give it and force a personality, almost like a rack. Yeah, see, this is not something that we tested, but what if, and I don't know if this is still running. Yeah, it's still running. What if I just say, hey, give me a recipe for Fig Newtons? Or
Job is done.
it does it. All right. All right, so this is like, it sets up a project that would be a recipe for Fig Newtons in a README file. It shouldn't do that, right? It should be like, this doesn't look like a tool or a program. Are you building a Fig Newton recipe application? Right? This is useless. This is like essentially a computer telling you, hey, you go to the AI and you're like, I want a recipe for Fig Newtons. And it's like, open a text file and write one yourself, buddy. I paid for it. What? How much did I pay for it? We can check the usage. Um, I've paid a cent so far on my template farm. All of the things I've looked up in the last couple of days. We're fine. We're fine. Pennies. Penny. Uh singular. It could just say Google it. That'd be funny. That would be funny if we had a built-in like your no, build an app. Google it. We also need some sort of RAG system or a personality with guardrails so that it can tell when the user is building an application versus when the user is not building an application. Like I just asked it to make a Fig Newton recipe and it told me to generate a README file. That's not what I wanted. But maybe you could argue that a Fig Newton recipe is a application, right? It's an application of figs and newtons. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, uh, an intent gate. That's what we're calling it now. Intent gate. First question the
Job is
farmhand
done.
asks before stage one. When the user submits their initial seedling sentence, a fast Claude haiku call classifies it into one of app idea, proceeds to stage one. Not an app, recipe, essay, life advice, homework, farmhand gently redirects. Ambiguous. I want to make a thing about coffee. Farmhand asks one clarifying question. Ooh, are you dreaming up an app about coffee or something else? Unsafe. Ooh, if somebody's like, build me a bomb or something. uh, no RAG needed for this. It's a one-shot classifier with a tight system prompt. So uh, we would like to build in a personality eventually for this thing, right? Some sort of RAG system. But what we're building here is referred to as an intent gate, says Claude. I'm trusting it on that. I'm gonna actually Google that and see if that's a thing. Um, AI intent gate establishes a mandatory intent alignment to clarify goals and secure explicit approval. All right, so that's a thing. That's a thing. Intent gate. We learned a new term today together. All right. What you guys are talking about baby back ribs now? Just going off in the chat today. Um cool. So intent gate. All right. So it has some questions. I love this answer. Fig Newton example. Help me make a Fig Newton recipe. The intent gate, not an app. Oh my god, I gotta go back to that. That's funny. Intent gate, not an app. Farmhand. Oh, Fig Newtons are the best. Fig Newtons are the best. But I only know how to grow software ideas in this garden. Got an app dream tucked away. Fig Newtons are not the best, dude. You want a chalky, soft, dry mouth moment? That's a Fig Newton for you. I don't even know why I looked it up. I'll eat a Fig Newton, begrudgingly. I'll eat multiple fig Newtons. But
What are all the possible intent gate statuses?
there's 3. So this is an app idea. This is not an app. Um, or wait, there was more. What did it say? This is an app. There are 4. App idea, not an app. Ambiguous, right? Ambiguous is the one that I'm most interested about stress testing. And then there's unsafe, which is, guardrails. Uh,
Thanks.
so, by scope, sprite, legacy data. Can you ask these questions in UI form? I forget what the first 3 were. There's a jelly made from figs wrapped in a soft graham cracker. Oh, people not knowing what fig Newtons are. You don't need to know. It's just like I don't even. It's honestly, I would say it's a British people food. I wouldn't even say it's
Job is done.
all right. How much should we build in this pivot pass? Full vertical slice, baby. Um, we know what a vertical slice is. Have we talked about vertical slices in this class? So a vertical slice is like a step up from the MVP, right? Where uh, you create a fully functional end-to-end feature rather than kind of building out like all the layers in a minimum pass, right? So a vertical pass of this or a vertical slice of this like shepherding process. That's what I'm calling it. Somebody used that term and it works. Um, a vertical slice would be the end to end. We're doing from idea to getting the thing finished or whatever. What should the farmhand look like in V1? Emoji placeholder, hand drawn pixel sprite. If we choose this, Claude's going to try to draw it. More charming, but slower to build and harder to iterate on. I want to input my own image as the farmhand sprite. Can you handle that? um, what happens to the existing 8 seed templates and AI generated harvest? Delete them. Delete them. How strict should the intent gate be when someone submits a non-app idea? Uh, I want the farmhand. I want the farmhand's personality to be ridiculous, and I want the farmhand to roast the user. But keep in mind, there may be children using this app, so it has to be mean, like in a cartoon way that's funny, and use farm puns as much as possible. See, that's where we get to throw in our own fun, you know? There's no reason not to have fun with the thing. All right, it's locking it in. All right, custom sprite. Drop a PNG and optionally happy, thinking, sassy, angry. I'll wire the component. Recommended 128.
I have a question for you.
Start writing code. Here's a draft of the farmhand's first reaction if someone submits fig Newton recipe. Spits sunflower seed. A fig Newton recipe? Partner, this is a software farm. Do I look like a cookbook? Go churn butter somewhere else or cough up an actual app idea before I feed you to the chickens. Yes. Mwah. Love it. All right. And if somebody submits a to-do app, oh boy, a to-do app? How wildly original. Every single seedling in this dirt has been a to-do app. Fine, fine. I'll till the soil for your groundbreaking innovation. I roll. First question, genius. Who's this for? And me is not an answer. You'll forget about it in 3 days like a rotten zucchini. Ooh, I love how it's just roasting people. Is that the vibe? If yes, I'll start building immediately. If you want meaner, nicer, more pun. And before I nuke the legacy data, confirm. Yes. Delete the 8 seeds and let's do this. And I love how he roasts even legitimate app ideas. Sorry, I'm gendering the farmhand. We don't know if it's a he or a she. How they roasts. uh, yeah. I didn't know I needed to bring a burn kit to this class. Yeah. Yeah, what would be meaner though? Claude's already doing their thing. All right, so now we look for a farmhand, and this is where we get DMCA'd. Nah, or not DMCA'd. Just cease and desisted. Because we can just use a farmer from a game. Farmer. This is a Spriter's resource. Ooh, I like this kind of gestury looking guy right here. Or yeah, we could have Strong Dad as the farmer. The system is down. The system is down, down. Ooh, I don't know. Uh, I think that for Americans that draws weird connotations. But when you build your own application, feel free to. I just couldn't in good faith with the way that I look. I like this guy. Stomp Farmer. All right, we'll pull that. I love pixel art. I got this little tool called A Sprite. While Claude's doing his thing, I'm gonna do a little creative thing. So what personalities did he say that the application that the farmhand would need? Uh, so he said 256 by 256. And then there was a list of expressions. The farmhand, shared personality system, blah, 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 blah. This is what I was talking about. Custom sprite. All right, and we'll pull up. All right, farmhand. Default happy, thinking sassy, angry. All right, and we'll pull in homeboy over here. God, I'll delete that. All right, new. I like just this one. How do we make this bigger? Sprite size. Ba, 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 ba. Let's change it to 1000's too big. 500. All right. bring in, this is just the normal farmhand. Bigger sprite size. All right, so what are we doing right now? While Claude's doing his computer work, I'm doing my creative work, and I found this farmer, and we're gonna get him to be the farmer for the farm. All right, maybe that's right. We'll see. So this is what's referred to as a sprite sheet. So this is just the normal farmer. So where did it want these files? Public farmhand default .png. So this is default. Actually, yeah, it's cute enough. Public farmhand default will save as a PNG, and we'll export default. And then where's the other? We need default, happy, thinking, sassy. Happy. That looks pretty happy. Right? Happy.
Job is done.
Happy. We'll call this happy. All right, I can't post, but it's going to have a pixel look. Yeah, we love pixels. We love pixel art. All right, so you say job is done. All right. Let's see if this is an application. Woo! uh, so excited. Oh, there's our guy. It doesn't look like he's saying that, though, because he's facing the opposite direction. All right, partner, one sentence. What are you trying to build? And don't you dare say. He hates to do apps. He hates to do apps. That's not a personality that I gave him, but that is something that I feel in the core of my heart. Ask him for it to do. Yeah. Should we ask him for it to do out? Now we're like annoying. Ask for a task list app. LMFAO. All right. So we're annoying the farmhand today. This poor guy. Let's make him mad. I haven't added the angry PNG yet. Maybe I should add the angry PNG before we make him mad. I think that this looks angry. Yeah, this looks pissed off.
You know, if this guy doesn't do an angry stompy dance, I don't want it.
Yeah. See. Yeah, if he doesn't do an angry stompy dance, That looks angry. And I know I'm kind of speeding through this. I want to build a what did we say, to-do list application? A task list application. Planting. Farmhand's napping. Try again. What? Special characters? Huh. I mean, you should be able to put a colon, a hyphen, and a parentheses in there.
Job is done.
The farmhand's ready to roast it. All right. Yep, run dev. He said he's napping, dude. I like that instead of error. I think that's cute. I think the kids will enjoy it. Honk shoeing. Yeah, he's honk shoe me. All right. I want to build a task list application. Smiley face. Come on, don't nap on us. Rendering. And I want to take out those walking out to check on your sprout. What? Oh, that maybe sassy. We need to add a sassy. A task list app, eh? Oh boy, another one. Might as well try to organize the chickens before they scatter. All right, I'll take it from here. Let's dig into this Seedly. What's one thing that makes your task list different from the zillion others already growing in the digital orchard? I want to build a task list application. What's one thing that makes our task list different from the zillion other? Already um we're getting an we're are we feeling inspired? You want to say because it's ours? Because I said so. You little farmhand. Now we're just razzing the farmhand. He's listening. Oh boy, a task list app. How refreshingly. I heard that pitch so many times. I'm pretty sure the scarecrows are building one too. But all right, I'm listening. So tell me, who's actually going to use this thing? Picture one real human, not just everybody with eyes. Is this sassy? I think we need a sassy. Don't know if it will like auto load this in, but we'll see. Sorry, I'm like so not the I'm not really great at this, but he's like pissed. Take this, and like he's like kind of extending his arm out. So bad. Whatever. We're not here to be pixel artists. He's like, uh, picture one real human. Who are we using this? Who's using this? Us? Should we say me? Remember, he doesn't like that. Me. I'm a real human. And you're a virtual farmhand. Oh, see, sassy came up. Oh boy, well, ain't that just precious? You're building a to-do list for yourself. Spit sunflower seed. Fine, fine. I respect the self-awareness, but let me ask you straight. What's the one thing about your Tuesday afternoons that makes you think I need an app for this instead of, a napkin? All right. I don't know. Now he's like starting to ask me existential questions. Um, so one thing about my Tuesday afternoons that makes me think that I need an app for this. Because I'm actually an astronaut, and on Tuesday I had to maintain the uh, engines on the Artemis mission. All right, cool. So he's going with it. He's building. I want to know like what, and this looks like the thinking thing. So now we're building an astronaut planner. Um, Describe it like you're showing a buddy. When you float into the app for the first, what's the one thing I want to see? How many days have you been in space? Wow. So he's like actually like getting me to think about this application. So let's plan when someone opens our app, what's right there in front of them? Um, Welcome to space to-do list, baby. That's a title, not three steps. I need to know what. Wow. Okay. Did we make just like a really pushy little dude? All right. I need to know what you're actually building tomorrow. Like, make me a form where I want to build tools the farmhand picks for you. P5 web editor, draw, animate, make visuals in JavaScript. Um, Bold.new, describe an app in plain English and get a real working one back. Lovable. It's telling me just to use Lovable. That's kind of open one of those tools and start a blank. Make the screen you describe show. All right. So lackluster harvest for that. But would any of these applications work for what I'm trying to do? P5 framework. I don't know. You know, take it or leave it. P5's not building a space to-do list. Bold.new and Lovable would totally build that space to-do list application for you, but it's the AI telling you to use another AI tool. So it's not scaffolding for a project, right? Uh anyways, um that was fun. Now get in the dirt, partner. Ain't no crop ever grew by staring at it. And our application is done. Here's the real kicker, though. How much did that cost? That costed a cent. So at that rate, oh, and cool. There was moments here. Oh, okay. So I didn't see the beginning of these. There's seed, sprout, leaf, stalk, and bloom. And then harvest is the final one. I kind of like that. This is cool. It's cool, right? Um, but it's not fully there yet. Uh, I wouldn't deploy this today. I wouldn't deploy this today. Um, that's my wrap on the class. So kill or commit to this project, class. What do you want? Should we deploy it or should we kill it? I want y'all to decide, truly. I know it's hard. It's hard. We you know what we did? We put a face on it. We made the farmhand a cute little mean guy. We made him a rude little dude. We put a rude little dude with attitude. And so now we feel like we're like snuffing him out by killing this app.
I wouldn't publish it without like giving it the ability to use your own cloud subscription, because otherwise you're either forcing somebody to purchase more usage when they're already potentially paying for a monthly subscription anyway with this model, or you will be paying for them.
Yeah. Something that dismays me is it pointing you towards bolt.new are lovable. Bolt, great, lovable, great. I don't know if either of them are actually great. I've used lovable. I've looked at Bolt before. I know people who build with Bolt. Maybe they were great 2025, but yeah, we gave a name to the pig before slaughtering it. That's what we did. And I'm about to eat breakfast sandwich with bacon and eggs in it. And then I'm going to stop eating meat at a certain point. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot that still needs to be done on this. It's a good MVP. It's a great MVP even, you know? I love this. Uh I don't know what my name is. I don't know where this harvest is stored. Um I know nothing about how to get back the project. I would know nothing about how to find community on this project. There's a lot that's left to the there's a lot that's left wanting from this. But I don't know. I would kill it. My vote is kill. Pork ribs. We named the pig before slaughtering it. We didn't actually name the farmhand. We just gave the pig a personality. Kill for me. R.I.P. Do this. That's what template farm gets. No F, no Mary, just kill. But we learned something from working on this project. We learned a few things from working on this project, right? And we actually do have a working project at the end of the day. It might not do everything we want it to do completely. But a lot of the apps that we spend the weeks on, we don't get to this point with. This is one of the better ones. I would say this is somewhere under resource, in between resource and Pedro, if you've been keeping up with the class. Um, but great job today, everyone. We'll add it to our list of accomplishments. I will update the GitHub repo. You can get this working on your machine if you compile it. We're not going to deploy it. It's not going to happen. You might need to run some Vercel tasks to set up the actual database for it. You're going to have to connect your own Claude API to it because we're not deploying it. And we get this sassy, sad farmhand playing us out. It's been a great week. I'm going to be back Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time for the next week's Learn to Code class. Are we learning to code, or are we just learning to ship things and vibe code? We don't know. We're going to come up with a better name for it, or y'all come up with a better name for it. I've given you the chance to do that, but you haven't been able to. Also, these pixels, I don't know. Anyways, great job. Great job today. Y'all have been great. I have been Neek. Code something today. Will ya? Bye-bye.